Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Games Talk Live. It's good to have you here with us this week. We have a special guest. Holly, I did hear your question during the whole, the opening of the show. If I say something, it's going to be recorded into the intro. But anyways, I made my intro. Yeah, I made it.
It's really good.
When I started.
It's so good.
Yeah, a lot of people like it, and I appreciate that. I'm pretty good at editing. I used to make videos. You know that, guys? I used to make videos. I used to edit a lot. I used to sit there for hours and hours and make something, and it could be like a little 20-second, 30-second little bit in my video, and it would take me 4 hours. And then I would make something, add like videos, music, little sounds and everything. And then I asked myself, what the hell am I doing? Nobody really appreciates that 20, 30 seconds. But I was kind of wrong, though, because I had several people tell me, like Gaza was one of them. He was like, man, I like what you did there with that. And I was like, oh, you noticed? Because most people don't notice, especially on YouTube these days. Most people just listen on their phone.
I feel like people notice, but they don't realize how long it takes to do those special things. You know what I mean? They just assume, oh, you edit videos, it's just a click of the button, right?
Yeah, because you are now editing and making videos, right?
Did you see that? I am. Yes.
Yes.
I made my first one. It's up this week.
Nice.
I loved
Congrats.
doing it. I liked I liked the process. I loved it. I feel like I know where my weaknesses are, but also it's my first video, right? Like it can only get better. So
For sure.
yes, I did. Thank you.
And you will get better, especially as you start editing more and stuff. It'll become second nature, and then you'll just be like, boom, boom, boom. This is how I do this. If you really want to get real intricate, though, it takes there's a learning curve, especially with some of the effects and stuff that we'll use sometimes. But one day I want to get back into it, but I just don't know if gaming is really the thing I'm going to pour a lot of time into editing videos for. It's just, I don't know. I still love, don't get me wrong. I love the hobby. I love gaming, but there's a lot going on in the gaming scene, especially on YouTube and stuff, where there's just so many people creating like this depressing content. It's always like, gaming industry bad, this sucks, and that seems to be what's taking off, and I just don't want to go down that route, even though I do complain. I have my complaints. I'm the old man that yells at clouds, but I don't want to go full board into that realm. It's just not for me. I don't know if that makes sense.
I feel like sometimes when you embrace or like really like drill down into things that are negative, it like dampens your persona, or you know what I mean? It skews how you are in real life too, right? Because your mindset is now in this like critical negative space, and it bleeds over, right? From
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So some people can separate it, but it's not everybody can do that.
I'm moving your name over a little bit because you can't read it with your white mic. You're one of the few with a white mic. And everybody, this is That Blue Number. You can find her channel under That Blue Number here on YouTube. I highly suggest you go and subscribe, because she will be making some great content. Already started this week, and it's off to a good start. So great job on your first video. And since you're here and I'm talking to you, what have you been playing this week?
Well, first of all, when Fonz asked me to join, I said the only way I'll join is if Andrew Wilkins isn't allowed in the chat. I'm kidding.
Yeah, last week when he was attacking all of you in the chat, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Just kidding. I've seen him in so many chats, and that's just, yeah, it's his personality, and I don't get it. It's like, I don't understand you. Right? Anyway, so what have I been playing? I play Fallout 76 every day. I try not to talk about it too much, just because, people don't care. People don't want to hear it, right?
That's a lot every day.
Well, they have dailies, and then you got like you work towards like getting cool stuff to build in your camp and stuff. So it's, 20, 30 minutes for that stuff. But I'm still finishing Expedition 33. I am, like, level 88 or 89, something like that. I have 3 levels left in the Endless Tower, and then,
Oh,
just
so you're trying to
to do
100% it.
well, I just really love it, and, like, the side content that's in the world, besides the platforming stuff, right? But, like,
Yeah, I
the
didn't
side
care for the
content
platforming.
no, they're a fantastic game maker, but you should kinda stick to like, if you're gonna add side stuff, I don't feel like platforming was the strong suit for them to be adding, but, um, the fights are so much fun, and the bosses are all different, and there's just so much satisfaction in it that, uh, I just wanted to do all the extra stuff, and, so
Nice.
that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And I
Yeah, I
haven't
love the game.
repeated anything, there's just so much in it. There's so much content there if you want it.
Uh, so but you're at the very end. Like you could finish it if you wanted
Oh,
to.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
know
Okay.
what
Okay.
happens, I know what my choice is gonna all of that stuff. I just
Okay.
haven't actually done it yet
I'm
because
just
I
wondering
wanna
what
do
choice you're gonna pick because that's a big one.
I I know what I'm gonna pick.
I was
I've
I
thought
was
about it.
I had to think about it for a while before I did. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
took a while.
yeah, and somebody put up I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was Paul Tassi had written, a Forbes article about why to choose the one that they thought was the lesser choice, and it was a really interesting read. I don't
I
know if I
didn't read it.
agreed with it, but it was an interesting read. So I've been doing that, and I've been playing
Yeah,
The
I'll definitely
Division
talk
2.
to you about it once you finish it because I'd love to talk about how that ending happens and everything because it's the choice alone is
Mhm.
pretty rough.
It is.
So,
But, it's life.
but the one
Like,
I
life
made I
has a
think
lot of
makes the
choices.
most sense. So
Yeah.
I do.
Well, I'll DM you what my choice is
Okay.
or, you know.
All right.
I've been playing The Division 2. It's got a new expansion this week, so
Yeah. Yeah. Last night
mhm.
I was in party chat. You, Colt, Hargeet,
You
uh,
disappeared.
Dante. Yeah, you know what? I was doing something on my computer. I accidentally exited out and then I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to bed. So
Yeah.
I didn't come
Yeah.
back and say goodnight. Apologies for that. But Hargeet, once again, you're here. You're not at your house today, so you're away. So his he doesn't have his mic, but he has a
Yeah.
headset. Welcome,
So
man.
I won't sound as good, but, yeah. Um, yeah, so, like, yeah, we had another week. We have 1 week left for all the fun. Friday starts Summer's Game Fest, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, we got some fun stuff going on. We'll both be going down to LA. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it should be a lot of fun. And of course, you played the Division 2 last night
No, I
with
did
your
not. I
friend.
was I
Oh
I I
no,
was
you were
actually
just
just
sitting there. Oh,
spectating
okay,
them, listening to them.
okay,
I was not playing it, but no, I've been playing Doom, but then I found out about the path tracing, and I'm like, oh, I'll just wait. I'm gonna wait for the path tracing patch. I'm
dude.
like not even halfway, so I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just wait for that. And then I started Horizon Forbidden West.
You
Dude, the first
son of
time
a.
I played it, I fell asleep. Oh my god, I cannot believe the downgrade of that game.
Do you know what I feel about that game here, right here?
Oh my god,
The
like
whole series or that one in
That
particular?
one,
no, I
that
love the
one.
first one.
The
I
first
love
one
the
Yeah,
first one.
is
the first
good.
one's good.
The
And
second
I
one,
just I don't know what's going on. Like it starts with and like we were talking in the chat, right? Like, it's just
Mhm.
the voice acting. I'm like, why is she so exasperated about everything? It's like, oh, well, we have to go over here and like, then there's this, like, oh, and I'm like, why are you talking like that? Seriously, there's like, you show no enthusiasm for me, the player, to actually want to play this game. It's like
oh,
I'm
wait
being,
till you get
I'm
to
forcing you to
to
do
the
stuff. Like, get the heck out of
NPCs.
here!
Wait till you
Oh
get
my
to the
god, dude.
NPCs with the multiple dialogue wheels that pop up, and you end up spending 20 minutes talking to one NPC in a village, and you're like, okay, but that was nothing. You gave me nothing. I could have been out there fighting stuff, but no, you wanted to sit here and tell me about your recipes. And hey, can you get this from this person? And I'm just like, bro, yeah, I cannot finish that game. I've tried several times. I put in at least 30 hours into that game and I can't finish it. It's too boring for me. I think it's
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
go on a mini little rant here because I
go
honestly
for it, go
think
for it.
Aloy is not probably. She is the most boring protagonist I've ever played in a video game, bar none. There's nobody worse than her when it comes to boring.
I'm sure there's somebody out, that in a
Absolutely
game
boring.
that's crappy, right? That has a bad, but like,
No, she's absolutely boring though. For a big AAA game, I'm sorry, just boring.
oh my goodness,
And
I don't know
fault.
what it
It's
is
how
about
she's
the way
written.
it is. Yeah,
It's how
yeah,
it's how
exactly.
she's written. You know, it's. I mean, the guy who made the character and everything probably thought, "Oh yeah, it'll be a great character," you know, and the person that wrote the dialogue just said, "Nope, we're going to make her boring and extremely just annoying and continuously talk through the whole thing." And yeah.
Oh my God, that's another thing. Oh my, it's like the constant. I don't think she shuts up for more than 5
Chatter?
seconds.
Mm.
Yeah.
And she's talking about nothing, and you're like, just shut up
Just shut
already.
up.
And it gets. Anyways, the other part was to say, okay, like let's look at the graphics. Apparently, it's supposed to be very, very good graphically, and I'm actually kind of disappointed. Look, I'm playing this on PC, 4090, full everything maxed, right? And I'm like, this doesn't look that next gen at all, right? All they did was saturate the colors, and at least that's what I'm seeing so far. Now, maybe it gets better later or something like that, but so far, I'm
It
not
looks
really that
really
It's
impressed.
good.
is it
It looks
4
really
years
good.
old now? Is
It
it 4 years?
is
I think it's
2022, 2022, I think
3?
so three
2022.
3?
years.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
Okay.
looks really good. I don't have a problem with the
It looks good
graphics.
for a PS4 game.
It looks, well, it is a PS4 game.
It is a PS4 game.
It
And so
literally
it
is.
doesn't do so like comparing it to something like Forza Horizon 5, which is also a Xbox One game,
Or when you compare
that
something
is a night and
like,
day better.
yeah, and then you
It is
compare
just
something
so
like
much cleaner.
Wukong on the PC, it just
Yeah,
looks,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
obviously, like those look next gen. Even Hellblade looks next gen, and now I'm looking at this, and I'm like, no. So it's good enough. I'm not the graphics guy anyway. It's like fine as long as the gameplay is good.
Yeah, yeah.
And so far I'm like, okay, the gameplay's okay. But we'll see. I mean, I'm very, very much at the beginning. I'll try to give it a chance a bit more.
Do you
But
know
man,
her game?
is this a way to like mute her?
I,
Oh
I
my
think you and I have talked about this before, but Colin Moriarty says that that game is the pinnacle of gaming, and nothing can get better than Horizon Forbidden West.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption, anyone?
Yeah,
That was the
outta
first game
come
I
on.
thought of.
Like,
Yeah.
give me a break. Pinnacle of gaming. Get out of here.
I think even GTA 6 is gonna cream it, just destroy it.
I'm not pooping on the game, but like there's a lot of other games that you could just say, well, that was amazing. That was amazing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like off the cuff before. I don't know.
I guess we
Yeah.
have Expedition 33. I haven't even started it, and I hear so many good things about it. So
Oh, you're
Oh,
gonna
it's so
love it,
good.
Pete. It's really good. It's
That
really good.
that and Elden Ring are my game of the generation. It's kind of tied. The
Yes,
two of them.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is so good. Now, Elden Ring Nightwing just came out, and or Night Rain.
Night Rain, right?
Night Rain.
Did you get it?
And no, and I'm not, because for everything that I've seen, it's very mixed right now on Steam. Like, there's a lot of people that hate it. It's very polarizing. A lot of software gamers that love FromSoft do not like this game because it kind of pushes you to play with other people, which is fine if that's what they want to do. But right on the box and you know, when you buy it digitally, it says it's also a single player game. However, it is from what I'm hearing, it's way too hard to be a single player game. You really
is.
need two other people.
And there's no crossplay, which is really like
ridiculous in a game like this. It really is. And then there's little mechanics that I see people complain about as well, like the whole resurrecting mechanics of your friends when you're fighting a boss. Like, you have absolutely no time to resurrect anybody.
No.
And with Elden Ring style bosses, there's no way you're going to freaking resurrect somebody with some of the mechanics they do. And then you've got things like the fact that a lot of people are complaining that there's no new weaponry or gear in this game. It's kind of just recycled from Elden Ring. So all the assets are basically the same. The only thing that they really changed up was they gave you new classes to play as, which is good.
There's new bosses too. There's
some new bosses too.
There's some Dark Souls bosses in it.
Well, are they new if
They're-
they're Dark Souls bosses?
Well, they're new to a
Kinda.
lot of people because a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't play
Yeah.
anything before Elden Ring.
But that's what the FromSoft fans are complaining about. So I get it. I'm one of them. I'm like, look, I like to play these games solo. I'm not a big co-op guy. But even if I was, and I played co-op in this game, how often do you get, well, for me, I don't get a chance to play with two friends. Like it's very
It's
rare that happens.
and there's no in-game chat so that if you do just go in and randomly match with somebody, you can't talk to them and be like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
stop using that class," or, like, "Here, I have something that dropped that would be better for you. Go use it," right?
Yeah, I saw Osmond Gold. He's kind of negative on the game mostly because of the a lot of what I was talking about that people were complaining about. He agrees with them, and I was watching his play, and it's funny because at one point he was playing with randoms, and they were running into this mine, and he's all cool. We're going into this mine, so he runs up ahead of them, starts fighting, and then he notices nobody else is fighting, and he turns around and they're gone. They just left him. And because there's no proximity chat or any way to really talk to randoms, they were
Yeah.
obviously talking to each other because they were
They're
always side by
friends and
side.
needed a third.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they ended up leaving him, and he's like, "Where'd they go?" And then he chased him out and ran after him, and it was just that's ridiculous.
Do you know of this streamer? His name is Jev, Jev,
No,
Jev.
no.
He's got, like, almost 6 million subs on YouTube. He does a lot of Call of Duty, but he does other he does single player stuff. He only plays alone. And all of his content is just cut videos, 10 to 15 minutes in length of his gameplay that he's recorded. So he's been playing Nightwing because he loved Elden Ring. He's pretty good at it. But he just posted this video, and I was watching it yesterday, and he matched with two randoms. One was named Edwin, and the other one was named Endymion.
Oh, the content creator.
But he didn't know he didn't know either of them.
Okay.
And I don't think he knows of Endymion to know. And who knows? It might have just been somebody who took the name or something like that. He was like screaming at these guys the whole time, and it made me chuckle because I thought, what if he inadvertently made a video of playing with Endymion, right? And like the entire time not knowing that this is the guy. It made me laugh.
Yeah, no, I could, I get it because Endymion's pretty big as well. Content creator on YouTube. I don't think he's a streamer at all. I think he just does content.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just.
But
Yeah.
everybody seems to be playing this game. It's huge. It's already sold well over 3 million copies in the first day. So
Did you see the Steam numbers on it?
yeah, wild. It's just
There was like over 200,000 in the first 22 minutes or something like that.
It's FromSoft. It's the power of a great developer. I still give them credit for everything they've done, but I just think this one, and I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but I think it's a bit of a cash grab. I think the reused assets and how the game is just not like you said. There's no proximity chat. There's no cross play. It's like, what did you really do for us then? Like,
I'm sorry. In 2025, there should be 0 multiplayer games that don't have crossplay.
Yeah,
I find
agree.
it outrageous.
I agree.
And then I understand and I sort of agree with you, but on the same hand, I would also say I would much rather they have done this than go into full development cycle to make a live service game or something like that.
I hear you.
Right? This is like the hybrid of FromSoft being sort of asked and probably semi-forced, right, to do some sort of online component, but not going full live service and then taking 5 or 6 years to do it. So.
And it's only $40, $39.99. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. A lot, and then you got the other side. They're loving it. There's people like Zocker that love the game, that absolutely is loving it. With he's got 2 really good friends that he plays with, and consistently, and they're having a great time. So I can't really knock that side of it either, because they're having fun. Who am I to say stop having fun? I can't do that. Hargeet, I don't know about you, but what do you think about the numbers, everything with Night Rain, the game itself? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I have very little interest in that. Like, I hate finished Elden Ring, so maybe it's good, but I'm not a Souls guy at all.
Yeah.
But I did end up finishing it. Just like putting enough effort into it, I was able to figure out a way to finish the
Yeah.
game. But yeah, I have no interest in any of the DLC. I'm like, I'm good. I did whatever. I did the main campaign, whatever. But like, it's good for them, right? If they're doing better, good numbers, it's good for them, right? That's always good. At least some games are doing well, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? What else about that? I was watching. So right now I'm kind of in between games, and I got games coming out next week that I'm going to be playing. For sure, I'm going to play Stellar Blade. I waited for that to be on PC before I played it. But the other game that I might play, and we're going to get into, it's a lot of controversy, so I'm not. Is Mind's Eye. We're going to talk about that. But there was a game today that I saw, and I remember seeing this, and I forgot which showcase it was shown at, and it was just a trailer back in like 2022, maybe. It was called Where Winds Meet. And then I saw more of it today, and it's kind of like it is an open world action RPG, which is right up my alley. Plus, it's kind of Souls like. It's got like bosses that are very Souls like and stuff in the game. So I've been watching a ton of gameplay on this, and apparently this game has been out since December in China. It's a Chinese made game. And I got to shout out Chinese developers. They seem to be killing it lately. And this game is no exception. I love what I see in this game. I cannot wait to play this game. There's so much going on in this game that speaks to me. Number one, you got the character customization at the beginning. You can make your own character, male or female. And then you also have just the variety of weapons and gear, special abilities, and things like that in this RPG. And it plays a lot like I said, a Souls game. It's like AC, like an Assassin's Creed meets a Souls game. And it's like, of course, it's really like Chinese, and it's got that Asian flair about it. It's got but it speaks to me. I really like what I see. And that Holly, you seem to be looking at it right now, aren't you?
I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah.
I like what I see. I like it. It's got a cool art style. Like I'm digging it.
Are you gonna play Wu Chang?
Yes,
Is
for
that
sure.
like high on your excitement list?
Not high on my excitement list, but it's there. This one is high on my excitement list because I just watched a ton of videos on it today of actual gameplay, people playing it. There was one point where I saw some guy who was running through the freaking clouds in this game, and I'm like, huh? Like, I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
cool.
that is freaking cool traversal. And I was just like, I want to play this now. So I'm excited for it. It just says sometime in 2025 for North America. So I don't know when it's going to drop,
It's
but
it's third person, looks
third
like, right?
person. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's really, really
So
cool, really fun looking.
yeah, it looks kind of feudal Japan, right?
Yeah, it's Chinese, I believe. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's all Chinese. But and then there's like
Yeah.
14 different classes. So it's a
Okay.
lot to get into in that game.
It looks interesting. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I'll send you a video where a guy breaks it all down, tells you what it's like, really details it.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
he's played the beta and he
Okay.
really gets into it. And you can co-op in this game as well. It's not just single player. You can co-op. So
Oh,
pretty
like the
interesting.
campaign?
Yeah, the
That's
campaign
cool.
is
I
co-op.
love co-op campaigns.
And then at the end, he was talking about how there's an MMO that opens up. If you beat the game, then you can play with other people. And I'm just like, okay, but I'm not really looking for that, but I'll play the campaign. Definitely. Yeah, John 907I, he says, agree, Fonz. The Asian games haven't been corrupted with nonsense. Agreed. A lot of them, anyway. Agreed. Let's talk about the game that does have some controversy surrounding it. I may or may not play this game next week. It's called Mind's Eye, of course. It releases June 10th. It's a game from ex-Rockstar developers. The CEO, his name is Leslie Benzies. Leslie Benzies is his name. Now, the controversy surrounding this game, a lot of people were kind of saying it was a GTA-like game and everything. But the more we've seen and the more we've heard about it, it's less and less like GTA. It's more linear than it is open world. And it's pushing a lot that is stating like, oh, this mode is going to come out later. The game is going to get better as it progresses. And we'll add buildings where you can like build a whole scenario to drive through or fight in and stuff like that. Like you can just put buildings in different areas and stuff and choose on the maps, like make your own map basically. And there's like, yeah, that's coming out later as it, and I'm just like, okay, this is the problem I have in gaming right now today is that constantly they're putting out games that are obviously unfinished. They're just not finished. I look over, you mentioned earlier, Hargeet, how you were playing Doom and you're like, oh, path tracing's coming. Like that should have been there day one. I'm sorry, but most people have already finished the game and they're not going to go back to play it through with path tracing. Like it sucks for people that did that, because I did the same thing, Hargeet. I said, oh, path tracing's coming. Oh, I'll just wait for it and see what it looks like, finish the game that way. It's so weird. But going back to Mind's Eye, it's not only that, I guess a lot of the alpha and the betas that have come out recently that have been shown behind closed doors and stuff have been really rough. And you had a lot of people out there who've seen it. Some YouTubers are claiming they've seen it and they said, yeah, it's really rough. It doesn't look good. But the studio here, and I think they're called something, Build a Rocket Boy is the studio name.
Mhm.
Absolutely just dumb name in my opinion, but whatever. Build a Rocket is telling them, hey, all that stuff you see though is going to get fixed. Don't worry about it. It's going to get fixed. And so you got a lot of people complaining about this game. They're using words like dated, stiff gameplay, and even broken. And so this guy, and this is a little backstory for some people who don't know. So apparently Leslie Benzies, who's the CEO of Build a Rocket Boy, he was pushed out of Rockstar. He was asked to leave a few years ago. And the reason being is like all rumors and stuff. Like I haven't heard a concrete reason why he was asked to leave. And I'm not going to just speculate and just go with these rumors that I'm hearing, because I don't know. But what I do know is that Leslie Benzies is suing Rockstar for $150 million for pushing him out.
Or like wrongful termination.
Yeah. And basically, he is now stating, or actually, let me read the quote. This is the co-CEO, not Leslie Benzies, but the co-CEO of Build a Rocket Boy. He says this about, he said this on Discord the other day. He said, all the people who reacted negatively were financed by someone, he said. 100% they were financed. He also said, it doesn't take much to guess who financed these people. He's implying that Rockstar did because of this lawsuit and everything against Benzies. And yeah, he said there is a concerted effort by some people that don't want to see Leslie Benzies or Build a Rocket Boy to be successful. And they're making it a concerted effort to trash the game and the studio. It's pretty easy to see that these are bots and media and influencers paid off. So this is just what they're saying at Build a Rocket Boy. They think that all the influencers, and there's also bots out there that are just stating this game, being negative on it, and it's a push by Rockstar and other studios. Just to see them fail. And I don't know if I believe this, to be honest. And Hargeet, I'm going to go to you first. What do you make of all this? And do you believe it's bots? Do you believe the media and influencers are all being paid? Like, what's going on?
I mean, it's possible, right? We don't necessarily know. You're probably right, though. It's probably just bunk, but uh, I would not be
It's
shocked.
strange, right? It's
I would
strange
not
to
be
say.
shocked. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe he has some substantiation for why, but I don't know. It's an interesting thought that maybe it is a company vendetta. Again, I would not put it past some companies. They could be pretty petty. But let's presume it really is just the game is what it is, right? So I guess we'll find out when it comes out, right? There's gonna be reviews. We'll see if people seem to think it is kind of just meh, whatever. But uh, I mean, so what I've seen of it, I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. It doesn't look bad, right? But we'll see. We'll see what it comes out to be, right? So is it like a current gen like masterpiece? We don't know, but probably not. It doesn't look like it.
Current gen
Uh,
masterpiece.
yeah, I don't think it'll be at that level, but it looks like it'll be somewhat fun. I think you were comparing it to what were those games? The
Grand Theft Auto. That's what they were saying
no,
at
no, not Grand
first.
Theft Auto. No,
Just Cause.
Just
Just
Cause.
cause.
Just Cause.
Yeah,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
yeah, that seems like it's in that range. It seems like it's like that. Which
But
again,
more
whatever.
linear apparently. It's
Yeah,
more linear than it is open world apparently. I
yeah.
didn't know
So
that.
yeah,
That's
we'll
not a
we'll
bad
see.
thing,
Yeah, it
right?
doesn't
For
have to
me,
be
it is.
bad
I
to be
love
linear.
open world games. I absolutely would rather play an open
I
world
do
game than
too.
linear.
Oh, you'd rather. Okay.
Yeah, that's just me though.
Um, yeah, and again, look, we have choices, right? This game is, you have to decide to buy that or something else, right? And it's coming out with a whole bunch of other things that are around it.
Yeah, Stellar
You
Blade
choose what
day
you want to
after on
play,
PC.
you know.
Yeah.
So, if it's your thing, why not, right? We'll see how it does in the market. But yeah, I don't know. Like, as far as the whole bot thing, I mean, I can't say that that isn't a possibility. It is, but I don't know if that's true. So,
It's only $60. I'll say that. At least it's not priced at 70. That's a good thing. And if it is like not broken at launch and it gets at least a 70 meta, I don't know. I may try it myself. Just to pick up a game and play. I don't know. We'll see. It's got to review decently though for me to think that. Holly, for you, are you interested in Mind's Eye? Are you interested?
I think I was one of those rare people when the first trailer showed. I was like, "This is awesome! Where did this come from? I hadn't heard of it, right?" And then my second immediate thought was, if this game is as good as it looks, why am I only hearing about it now when it comes out in like 4 months or 3 months or whatever? I think it's like 3 months because I think it was revealed in March. Um, and I was like, that's suspicious because usually, right, with games that are going to be very good, uh, especially games like that, which hit a lot of target markets, it's it usually gets some backing or some marketing
Yeah.
pickup. Uh, so I was suspicious based on that, but I wanted it to be good and I want it to be good. However, the people who sit and like watch these things for all of the stuff you're talking about, right? Like the stiff movement, the bad driving, the dropping frames, all of that stuff kind of started talking about it. And I was just like, oh, I'm not surprised given that we only just saw it, but
The awful dialogue here and there that we've heard. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I guess my biggest problem with it is that, I've played a lot of games that are mid or
Yeah.
have a lot of jank, but I still enjoy them, right?
Yeah. We
My
all have, I
problem
think.
with it is that they're actively out here saying that it's not finished and that they're gonna do all this extra stuff when it's finished, or
Yeah.
they're gonna open it up and just give it to the modding community, or whatever it is that they're saying, like all these things that have come out, and like that bothers me more than anything. Although I guess at least it's coming out before the game comes out, unlike Cyberpunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, you were one
um
of the shills. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
but
You were
I
not.
had
They
no
did not
problems
send
with
you that.
Cyberpunk
Yeah.
when it came out. I love that game. And they've also redeemed themselves, I think. But
Oh, big time. Big
I
time.
I kind of went to, okay, well, I'm probably not going to buy it. But now in the last week or so, I'm like, I think I'm just going to get it and play it. Like, we'll see. Like,
Yeah.
make my own mind up, I guess.
What else are
Which
you gonna
everybody
play?
should do. What else? Well,
Yeah, what else
I've
are you
just
gonna
got a
play?
lot to
Unless you
finish.
have a
I
backlog.
bought
Yeah.
I do. I bought the Midnight Walk, and I'm really excited to play that.
Midnight Walk. Is it a Sony
Yeah, they
game?
came out. It's not a Sony game, but it's on Steam and
I asked that because it
PlayStation.
has word walk in it. Yeah, maybe it's a walking simulator. I don't know. No, I'm just being
It's
messy. I
it's
don't know.
from the guys
I don't
who
remember.
made it's from some of them who made Little Nightmares, and they'd made another game that looks kinda like Little Nightmares. But, uh, as far as, like, them blaming Rockstar, I mean, first of all, $100 million from Rockstar is like,
Chump
"Okay, well, that's
change.
our
Yeah.
monthly operating budget, right? Congratulations, here you go." But then the other thing is that, like, even if this game was a banger, in no way will it take away from GTA 6, right? There's nothing, it's not even a pimple on their butt, right? Like,
No.
it's just nothing to them. And, like, why, if you are in a lawsuit, you would even risk doing something like that, because that could be brought to court if you could prove it, right? Uh,
Exactly.
it's just, I mean, I wish the guy hadn't even said that too, because I'm like, I feel like you're just making it worse. Kinda like
Oh yeah,
Randy
for
Pitchford
sure
did
they
this
are.
week. Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. And it's no I mean, it's no secret why Leslie himself didn't come out and say those things. He's just staying quiet because he's got that lawsuit,
Mhm,
against them. So
mhm.
I don't know. It's really weird. We'll have to see how it plays out, and especially see the scores. I'm sure the scores won't be released for this game until the day of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we're not going to see. And a lot of people are thinking this is going to be scored in the low 60s. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've heard lower too, but we'll
That's
see.
not good. We'll see. Um, let's move on to something a little bit fun here. Shuei Yoshida, ex PlayStation CEO, he was in the news this week calling Game Pass dangerous. He says these sub services are really, really risky because there always must be fresh ideas tried by small developers that create the next wave of development, he says. He says, but if these big companies dictate what games can be created, I don't think we will advance in the industry. And Holly, what do you have to say about this? What do you think of Yoshida's thoughts on Game Pass? Do you think it's really risky, or what about the games being created that, only the big company wants, these devs to create? What do you think about all this?
What does either sub service have to do with what games are made or not made? Like, I don't understand the
Precisely.
correlation. Like, there's 100 and whatever, right? Like, new indie games a month going into Steam, and, like, there's like, I don't think any developer actively starts making a game hoping to apply to be in Game Pass to get a bag and just do it. I don't think any of them hang their hat on that. I don't even understand that logic. And then he said sub-services, but clearly I feel like he means Game Pass more than he does the PlayStation
Of
service, just
course he
because,
does. Of course he does.
yeah, the PlayStation service is so much smaller and more locked down, right, that I don't think that they get the same, like, draw in their catalog as Game Pass does, but I just feel like there's no correlation. And Xbox Game Pass subscribers made a huge win, right, with Expedition 33, High on Life. Like, there's been a lot of games that have popped in there with no guarantee, right, that those games are gonna do well, and then they do, and it's a big surprise.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the Sandfall Interactive team said that Game Pass was a great and amazing thing for them. They had no issues with it. And frankly, it probably brings a lot of games to light, or even to past development, simply because they did get the funding from Microsoft or PlayStation to be in the service, because they might have not had the money to finish it, right? Like, a lot of them, I think, use that as an investment to kinda get over the finish line. So I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
silly.
No,
I don't know why these guys leave the company and then still,
defend the way
like,
they do. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's
crazy.
weird.
Shout out to BT
Weird.
Maverick 707 with the 5 gifted. I appreciate you very much. You know what, BT, you are
top quality.
Top quality, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Hargeet, here's the thing. Wouldn't the statements here that he made also apply to those companies without subservices? Because, I mean, think about it. If a big company wants their developers to make certain games only, they're going to do that regardless of a subservice or not. I don't understand the correlation here. Holly, you were alluding to that too, but Hargeet, like, let's be real here. It's obviously Shuei Yoshida just wanted to take a dig at Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously from the PlayStation camp of thought, right? So, um, yeah, I think he missed a little bit of that. It's dangerous to developers at PlayStation Studios because that's really the only development team that actually like loses when there's Game Pass. Uh, ultimately, like their model is up to them. They can figure out whatever they want. But if I just look at the reality of who's closed more studios this generation, is it Xbox or is it PlayStation? It's not even close. PlayStation has closed so much. They have been failing, 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 failing. It's their development that's causing problems. So they also have closed off most of the studios that made cool little games and instead said we want to spend $300 million on every game. Okay, that's cool. That's your choice, right? That's not maybe everybody's choice. Is their method really fixing it for like so every indie that puts their game on PlayStation, is that a great outcome? It certainly seems to be the case for people in Game Pass. They've got their money up front, and then they can get other things on top of that, right? So I don't know. Like, I'm still. Have there been any publishers that have said I hated putting my game on Game Pass? I mean, the only one I
Even if they
remember
liked
there
is
was one that kind of said something negatively later on, right?
there was only one. The one that I can remember is not a publisher. It was the People Can Fly, I think, is the dev team under Square who put Outriders on Game Pass, and Square was ecstatic about it, but the development team was not because they're like, well, we didn't get what we wanted. Well, that was your negotiation with them. That's not that's not up to Game
Yeah,
Pass,
unfortunately,
right?
it's down to the publisher and their negotiating skills and stuff. And
Exactly, right. But the
yeah,
publisher Square was very happy with the outcome. So like, it was like the first time in a long time they said, "Oh, we were happy with the outcome of this game." Because most of the time they're like, "We're disappointed with the sales
yep.
of this game. We're disappointed with this." So like,
So
wow.
they must have got a good bag and didn't pass that along to the developers.
Exactly,
They
right.
just
And
kept it.
so and really this is a negotiation up to the team as to what they negotiate with Xbox, right? They say it's a per case basis. They're not like it's a canned thing. You will do this. No, it's per game. They figure out what makes sense. So I don't like from what I've seen, most of the people that get into Game Pass, they are liking it, right? So I don't know where that comes from, except from hey, I was on the competitive side on the other side, and I don't like that this was disrupting my normal model. That's cool, but disruption in the marketplace is a normal thing, and so if you don't like it, well, that's too bad. But I don't see how this is a bad thing. I see a lot of games that I probably wouldn't have bought that I just end up playing because they're there in Game Pass, right? I'm like the antithesis of what he likes, which is you should buy everything. He's like, dude, that would be impossible because I'd have to find time to play it. Whereas here, I try almost everything that comes out in Game Pass. I'll give it a chance. If it fits my like needs, I'll play it. If not, then like okay, after an hour or two, goodbye, right? But hey, I gave them a chance. I got them gameplay. They got their money. So why is that a bad thing? I don't know. I don't see how that's a negative. But that's the same thing as streaming today. Like if you're on YouTube, do you sit there and say, I pay for this specific part of YouTube? No, you just get whatever's there and you turn on a video and like, yeah, this is crap. All right, next. Right? It's up to you, right? That's the way it is. You get on Netflix, same thing, right? Do you pay for every specific show? No, you just say, oh, I'll just watch whatever's cool, right? This is sucky. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna keep watching it, right? Whatever, right? I don't see the model being terrible. Now, is that the perfect model? Maybe not. Maybe it's not the greatest model for something like GTA. Okay, I'll take that. It's probably not the greatest model for Call of Duty, but guess who owns it? So they don't care. They put it in Game Pass anyway. right? So
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's huge for games like I won't use Blueprints because that got a lot of acclaim, right? So I think it probably boosted the sales with the scores that it was getting before it came out. But like Revenge of the Savage Planet, which is out right now, and I've been playing, and it's a ton of fun. I would have never spent my money on that on a
that's the
whim
thing.
to
Yeah.
try it. And there's a lot of the games that have come to Game Pass
Yeah,
where
that
I've just
happens.
casually played them like that. And then I actually go and buy them later, right? When they're on a sale or something like that, because I enjoyed it. I'll replay it later, or I didn't get to finish it. It's leaving Game Pass, but I did enjoy it, so I'll purchase it. And the only way that it touched my circle, right, is because I had it through Game Pass. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it
So
makes a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we'll see what happens long term, right? But like, I
mm.
think he's just looking at it from their angle and not understanding there's a different angle, right? So whatever.
I see Neve in the chat said he mean Hi-Fi Rush Studio. Laugh out loud, laughing
That got
emoji
sold off.
emoji. But
That got
here's
sold off,
here,
and the
here
reason it was a problem is the head of it left, and
yes,
they're like, "Well,
yes.
how are
I
we
was
going to
gonna get
rebuild
at
this?"
that. So here's the thing. A lot of people look at Hi-Fi Rush and think, oh, that game lost money. It made money. It made money. That game sold pretty decently for the size of a game that it was, and it also got a lot of plays in Game Pass, and I think it even sold pretty well on Steam, if I'm not wrong. Um, I'm not talking millions upon millions of copies, no, but it sold decently. It the Hargeet's 100% right. The lead developer was planning on leaving the studio before they ever closed down or got closed down. But he left the studio and ended up taking like great talent with him. And once he did that, he left kind of a shell of a studio there. So Microsoft kind of did the right thing and said, hey, let's just shut this studio down. They moved some of those guys onto other projects or onto other studios and stuff. But it's really a not an issue where I would point at and say Hi-Fi Rush failed and that's why the studio closed. It's just that's
Well,
far
that
from the
studio did
truth.
not close, right? I don't know if like there was a little mobile studio that closed, like six-man team or something like that that was working on what the heck was it? It was like
Look,
Doom something. I don't know. It was like
okay,
this
so
little mobile game.
I guess Hi-Fi Rush sold an estimated almost 900,000 copies on Steam alone. Uh,
Oh, that could be pretty good then. 'Cause
uh,
that budget wasn't that high.
sold around 2 million copies worldwide on all platforms.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty decent for that size of game. And then you got all the Game Pass subscribers playing it and stuff, and MAUs. That's what these companies like to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's a sad state that the head of it left, and he took a couple of the key people as well. And then they're like, okay, well, how are we going to rebuild this over there? We don't have anything in Japan. And they're like, okay, well,
There
so they
was
tried to sell it and it wasn't selling. And they're like, oh, we'll close it. But then somebody said, oh, we'll buy it. It's like, cool.
it wasn't just that though. It was the fact that the Zenom X umbrella. I mean, yes, I
yes,
mean that they were the ones that took the brunt of it, right? Them and Tango, but like the ZeniMax umbrella was over budgeted, overinflated, and they were in trouble, right?
Yep.
So when we saw that happen, that's when the rubber met the road for where do we go in the ZeniMax bubble to cut the money, cut the budget, and get things back under
Yeah.
control. And I saw somebody say something about CFresh shutting down Tango was the right thing. LOL. Like again, with Tango, I can't remember his name right now. He left too. Like the one who did
Yeah. Like
and he
not the
started his
studio, but
own
the guy
he
that
started
like
his own
was really
studio.
the head of the games. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so, yeah, that was the reason. They're like, well, we can't really do
so
anything with this, right?
so
So,
should PlayStation shut down Team Asobi because the Astrobot didn't sell, but what 1.5 million, maybe 2
I
by
think it's up
now.
to 2.3 now or
Yeah,
something
but
like that.
I
That's
mean,
because they bundled it.
regardless, it's about the same as Hi-Fi Rush. Like, let's stop with this nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
these are
Yeah.
smaller games. They made money. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so I think it's weird, but
But anyways, I mean, what was the point of that point? Like I said, that the who's closed more
yeah,
studios.
yeah,
So like whatever, and they bought ZeniMax. To your point, Holly, like they bought ZeniMax, And that was the point. It was like, hey, eventually they had to clean it up. The reason it was selling is because they were having trouble, right? The reason they were trying to
And
do all the exclusives was because they were having trouble, right? So they were trying to
and
figure
they
out how to
waited
make
for
more
those
money.
games to come out and get through that development cycle,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly, and
that
then
they
figure out
could
what to do. And does anybody blame Arcane? I mean, how would you like if you had to take that? If Phil had to take that, you saw him in that interview take that Redfall baloney, right? And he fell on the sword for it. But eventually, do you like really think that they weren't like, oh yeah, all right, well your day's coming? Like, come on, is anybody blame them for that?
Well, look, I just
He
I
said they
just
were going to
see
give him another chance, but it's like, all right, come on.
and
I just
and
see these
uh,
guys. Oh, go ahead, Holly. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Arcane's my favorite studios. That one hit a little harder for me. Leon obviously is the more
It's still
prominent
around, yeah.
one, but you know, the but Prey, which is a fantastic game, right? Came out and they helped with Dishonored, they helped with the other games, right? So it's not like they were completely separate units that were doing different things. But again, with Arcane Austin, they had a lot of the front people leave that led the Prey
Because they
projects.
wanted to go to this multiplayer live thing, right? So they
Which
swapped out
ZeniMax
the people.
which yeah,
It's like,
that's
oh
the
my
thing,
god.
right? ZeniMax made this decision to force Fallout 76,
Mhm.
like, all of these other things to come through, and
Yeah.
this is the reaping of the sowing, right?
But we're rehashing stuff that doesn't matter, right? Like
Right.
the number of studios on the PlayStation side is obviously more. They have
Okay,
absolutely
so
closed more stuff. So
here's the thing, though. Of course, somebody like him, or other companies and stuff that are still in competition with Xbox, whether people want to believe it or not. Xbox is still competing on different levels now. I mean, Game Pass is still competing with them, definitely. And here's the thing: on one hand, I could see Game Pass is kind of stagnant right now with the growth on console, and that's because console sales have stagnated. So it makes sense. But over on the PC side, these companies have seen that they've had a 30% growth. So that's pretty big. And so PC is still on the rise with Game Pass. And of course, because that's still a competitive thing against them, they are going to trash it. They are going to try to say something against it, or kind of make people feel like, oh, you better watch out. It's going to kill the industry.
So silly.
Because they don't want it.
The guy basically got fired from PlayStation. Like, you don't work there anymore. Why would you I mean, if you just have an opinion, so be it, right? But, like, to cap for either way, just awkward.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, somebody brought up Hell Is Us in the chat. Oh, Hell Is Us
That
looks
looks
great, but damn,
good.
those PC specs are insane. Like, Hargeet, so this game, the developers put out PC specs, and they're saying, now this is with upscaling, mind you. It's going to take a 4090 to hit 4K 30. So instead of optimizing, instead of doing, these developers seem today to just like, oh, let's push out the biggest and best graphics we can and all this stuff. Let's throw everything at it, but let's not optimize this game. Let's just throw it out there the way it is. And then somebody had nerve to ask, will it be 60 on my PlayStation 5? And I'm like, bro, if this is going to take a 4090 to hit 4K 30, I highly doubt you're going to get 60. If you do, have fun playing at 720p upscaled, because that's what you're going to get. It's crazy. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that game, but damn, do some more
That game looks
optimization.
so good.
It
But
does.
that's nuts.
A
Yeah.
4090 to hit 4K 30. Insane. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So let's talk about this. Microsoft temporarily sidelined, they say, its first-party Xbox handheld while focusing on third-party Windows 11 handhelds. However, development, they say, is still in progress. Hargeet, what is going to be here? What is going on here? And tell me, are we going to get a Xbox handheld, or are they just going to shelve this like they did VR back in 2020 when they first initiated that they were going to do VR on the Series X, but then you never heard about it again. Then finally Phil came out and said, guess what? We're not doing VRR. Okay.
VR, not VRR.
VR.
Um,
Sorry.
But
Sorry.
Look, this is all rumored stuff, right? All we know from Phil is there might be a portable, but that portable could be what they already have with Asus that's coming out at some point, right? So we don't know, right? We're getting all this kind of background information from rumors. Shout out to Jazz who has a lot of these things, but we don't realistically know what it actually is going to be. So let's assume that they were working on a device that is from in-house Xbox that's portable. Cool. Maybe that is ready to roll. Maybe it isn't, right? So what they do have is the partnership thing that we kind of already have, right? Because I think they kind of talked about it already publicly. So if they have a public, disclosure of, hey, we're going to work with Asus or other people, that stuff needs to work, right? So they've kind of decided to, at least from what we're hearing, this is all rumors, that they've kind of taken the focus away from create that portable Xbox device and let's just make sure the Windows part of it is good. Uh, Ultimately, I think that's a good thing, right? We want to have that be solid. It is pretty crappy right now, so they need to fix the like Xbox app and the Xbox UI on Windows. So if they can do that, great. That's a good idea. If they make it seamless, make it useful, make it equivalent to SteamOS, that's a good thing, right? We want to have it be as good as a competitor as possible. So if that's what they're working on, fantastic, right? Again, this is all rumor. We don't know any of this. Right. So we've never had confirmation that they're going to make an Xbox specific device. So whatever. So if they're making one, cool. I don't know if that one's going to be an x86 device or not. Right. Like, so we will see what they do with it. Right. They might say our partner devices are running Windows x86, but they could also partner and run Windows ARM, right? So that's another possibility. That gets you a better class for battery life and power for gaming than x86 at times. So that might be a thing. I don't know if hopefully we're still live or whatever. But as far as the portable, like whenever it comes, it comes. I think they need to figure out the UI piece way more than they need to figure out getting an actual device out. If it was just say like a Series S, well, do they really have it to the point where you can take a Series S offline and it works great? Maybe, maybe not. What happens when you close a lid? What happens when you like? So are they able to handle all that stuff, right? So if you like want to do a turn the power off and it goes into a sleep state, does that work seamlessly on a portable device with, I don't know, right? All that stuff needs to be worked out. With Windows it's there because they've had laptops forever, right? So they
Hmm.
know how to do all that stuff. With Xbox, I don't know if they've done all that stuff, right? It's still work they have to figure out. And if they, I mean, I would recommend they look at using something outside of x86 because I don't know, well, maybe it gets better and better, but x86 on portable tends to be a little power hungry. So if you really want to have a portable device with good battery life, it might behoove them to actually move to ARM and work on that themselves, right? So then they can say, hey, this is the template for an ARM-based portable device that runs Windows, right? And has the compatibility layer because you can get an ARM-based Surface device or whatever Windows device, and it still runs all your x86 applications. It works all it works, but there
That's
might be
what I
some
thought they were
oddities.
working on when they were talking
So
about ARM, just a couple of weeks back. I thought that was
yeah,
for the handheld.
yeah,
That was
so
just
that
my
might be the
assumption.
case. But if that's the case, that's work. That's a lot of work, right? That's not to say we plug and play. It just works with whatever we already have. That's a lot of work. So maybe they say like de-emphasize that. Let's get Windows working correctly so that we can compete with SteamOS, right? So SteamOS is now available to other platforms if they want to use it, right? So it's not perfect, but it's a good step. And therefore, they're like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we need to think about that piece. Let's stave off that competition as much as we can, right? And make sure that Windows still stays relevant in that place, right? In that space. So I think that may be what they're looking at and saying, okay, let's pivot that. But again, this is all rumor and speculation. We have no idea because we've never actually seen anything that says we're actually making an Xbox portable. So I'm just making guesses because what I do know about is Canon, right, which is the Asus ROG Ally, Xbox edition, right? That we've kind of seen leaked images of. So that is realistically what they have been working on. And if they're just trying to make that better and better, I'm all for that. That's a good idea. if that helps them in the future to say, here's a good way to have an Xbox experience that's portable, whether it's a device under your TV or a device you take with you or a device that you buy as a laptop or a partner device. I'm good with all that, right? So make it more seamless, make it like easy to use, take away the driver headaches and all that stuff. Awesome, like go for it, right? If they can make that happen, that's fantastic. So and that's one of the things that SteamOS doesn't really do. It doesn't have the driver depth, right? So you can't put it on everything, right? So you have to kind of deal with those minor issues, right? So minor, they're big issues. If you happen to have a device that has an NVIDIA card, for instance, you're out of luck, right? So that's a major problem. So, but you know, with Windows, everything works, right? So does it work perfectly? Maybe not, but it
Everything
works, right?
works. It might not
So
work perfect, yeah, but
yeah, but it
it'll
does
work.
work, right?
Yeah,
So that's the kind of thing.
sometimes.
If they're basically just say, hey, let's focus on that, let's get that done. Cool. I'm actually excited that they're doing that. Because I don't need a portable from them unless it's seamless and perfect, right? And if Gen 1, the usual thing from Microsoft, it takes them 3 tries to get it right. So so if it takes them a couple of tries to work with other partners, and hey, Gen 1 looks like shit, like Gen 2 is just a bit better and it's almost there. Gen 3 is where they get it right. And then they have their portable that comes out with the Gen 3 capabilities. That's fantastic. That would work for me. I was always worried about them putting it out first because I know there's a lot of hiccups that come when you come with a portable device that you just have to handle. So if they can make that work, great, right? I want it to be as seamless as the Xbox consoles, but again, when I take the power away, it still works, right? What happens when you come back? Are you logged in? Are you doing all this crap that you have to deal with, right? All that kind of needs to be seamless and easy. So that's what it's just like a switch, right? You bring it up, it's very easy to use. It understands if I hit the power button, it's in a sleep state. You bring it back, your game's where it is, everything's good. It's right there, right? So all that stuff needs to kind of work. And that's work they have to do, right? So I'm
Yeah.
happy with them doing that. But again, I don't know if it cancels it or whatever. That just comes to market dynamics. What if they like hold it off for 2 years and it finds out that the portable craze is kind of ended, and now it's your phone with some sort of special glasses. Okay, cool. Let's move
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Right? I don't know what happens in the market. Markets get disrupted all the time.
I
Right?
mean,
And
you're right because
so
originally when Phil was talking about possibly doing VR, I think they were still watching to see how the VR would do with PlayStation and all the other VR units
exactly.
on PC. And if you really look at it today, even though a lot of people still like VR, it's just very niche. There's not that many people out there buying these units. So before I move on here, Sith Lord, member for 19 months, says, best show ever. My Chi-Town sister Holly is on. Your brother's in the chat. Sith, say hi.
Hello.
Sith is awesome. Holly, for you, I mean, what do you feel about this whole handheld? Do you like handhelds? Are you into handheld gaming?
I have the ROG Ally, the first one, the Z1 Extreme. I like them because I do take the train back and forth to work.
Okay.
So for me, it makes sense, right? I can take that on the train, and then I have a little mini PC with me when I'm at like maybe my lunch break. I can spend 20, 30 minutes just goofing around doing whatever on it. But or they're good on trips, but then the battery is total crap. So that's the problem with the ROG Ally. I heard the second one's better, but I still think it's probably not, what anybody would love for it to be. Um it's I was disappointed when Canon came out to be this just another ROG Ally variation, right?
Yep.
Honestly, because I just think like we are in the learning phase of handhelds, and they're a great idea, they're a great concept. I just think that we're going through the iterative process of getting them better, and they'll wind up eventually somewhere where they're highly functional, have great battery, easy to use. Um, but we're not there yet. And so I understand that. And to Hargeet's point, the Windows 11 on the Ally is like Yeah, it is a full PC and I could dock it to a TV, right? And actually use it like a PC. But as a handheld gaming system, it's frustrating as hell because it's just
Yeah.
not, like it's trying to use Windows on on a screen like this by tapping buttons and stuff like that. So plus there's a lot of like not a lot, but there are compatibility issues and some of the other things that come along with that versus just sitting down at your own PC. So it's good. I like it. And I like it over having a Steam Deck because the Steam Deck you're tied to just Steam, right? You can't access Game Pass, you can't access your Epic Games library. So it's better that way. But the problem is, first of all, Microsoft is notoriously bad at being behind, right? The Windows Phone was fantastic. It's, won all these reviews. Everybody loves it. But they killed it because they were too late to the market. And it just never grew enough market share to, really be a viable product. And that's not the only one. The Zune was by far better than any.
I think that's a great point because I was thinking that myself months ago. I was like, wait a minute. If they're going to come out with a handheld, hopefully they do it soon because I don't know how long this handheld thing is going to be a thing,
or
like
if
where
it
people
does
are
take
honestly
off, you want to be the gold standard, right?
Yeah. So it's a good point.
I am worried about the fact that they're saying that they are going to shelf it, or Jess says they're going to shelf it because, well, are you killing it? Or are you bringing it back at the right time instead of when, again, you're a year or 2 years too late to the market in the time when it really would have made an impact?
Yeah.
The other issue we have with it is, yes, I agree, Hargate, 100%. They need to get their mobile platform like perfected. They need to get that up and running. They need to have that in the bag when and or if they do bring out their own. But the other issue is that, I was going to wait for my next, unless my ally, took a crap and I needed to get something else or wanted to get something else. I was going to wait for the Xbox version because while I do play a lot on PC now, I have a big Xbox library, and you can't access your Xbox library on anything but an Xbox machine, right?
True.
So even the Ally, which is great for getting to everything, can't get to your Xbox library that you own. So
yeah, that's
it.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking that too, that you want to have access to all those games, especially. That's why it's interesting with this ROG Xbox, handheld coming out. This partnership. You're still probably not going to be able to access all your Xbox games that way. I mean, you're probably going to be very limited. And I think people want a dedicated piece of hardware that does that. So
unless the workaround is that the rumors about the next console being a Steam Xbox hybrid eliminates the issue of licensing and your Xbox library is now through Steam.
A lot of people want that as well. Yeah.
Right, because then that would transfer then over right to this Windows console or Windows handheld unit that you're using.
Yep. And if you're Hargeet, he'll just say, yeah, why don't they just buy Steam already? Just buy Valve. That's his answer to everything. Xbox, buy it. Okay, we're going to switch gears here a little bit. In one short week, Hargeet, gamers will hopefully be enjoying all the games we've seen at Summer Games Fest. We've got the Xbox showcase and whatever else happens during the weekend, announcements or whatever. We should get something in the way of games. I would like to announce, though, I haven't really said it publicly yet. I've said to you guys and stuff. I will be going down there with Hargeet. I'll be down there with these people after all. At first, I was like, I'm not going to go if there's no Fan Fest, because Fan Fest is really cool. I don't really want to go. But then I thought about it. The wheels have been turning the past few weeks, and Hargeet's been in my ear the past few weeks. Hey, are you sure you don't want to go? And I'm just like thinking to myself, you know what? The one reason why I loved it last year was honestly to hang out with good people. That was the number one thing. Yes, the fan fest is cool. Yes, it's cool to go to these showcases, but it's the friends that you know and that you meet. It's all about that. And I have to be there for that. And it's one time a year we get together to do this. And I think it's something that is amazing. And I have to give hats off to, of course, Hargeet, Ben Kenobi, Dante, Ainsley, frickin' you've got, who else is involved with
Alex Wagerman and
Alex Wagerman and
Frankenstein.
Sean
and Sean
Labrie.
Bray. Yeah.
Amazing people. You guys, honestly, guys, what you guys are trying to do to keep this community to come together this year is amazing. And I've said it to my close friends. I'm blown away that you guys have done this. The generosity, not only that, but it's about you guys feeling the same way. Hey, this is the one time a year we get together and hang out. And for you guys to do what you're doing with this whole Xbox showcase watch party is amazing. Honestly, just flat out amazing. So I can't wait to be a part of this and be there and see what you guys have thrown together. And I assure you that this is something that probably will be happening years to come if Xbox decides not to do a fan fest anymore. Because honestly, next year I would like to be a part of it too, where, you know, if you need contributors and stuff like that, because honestly, this is what it's about. This is gaming and meeting people online, not, you know, and meeting them for the first time in person is like nothing else. Holly, I got to meet you last year. It was so much fun. We had a blast, man. It was so fun. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of laughs, and I can't wait to do it again. Unfortunately, you won't be going this year, right, Holly?
No, I'm not going this year.
Yeah.
No, not this year.
But I think next year we should all just make a concerted effort to keep doing this, because it's really amazing. It's awesome, and I can't wait to do that. But anyways, I say that to say that, you know, because all this stuff is happening this weekend, we won't be here next week, but I want to speculate. I want to play like a speculation game here. What do we think is going to be at these showcases? Because this is the first time, I swear, I can't remember a time where there hasn't been a ton of leaks by now. Everything has been leaked by now. Every other year, like we always hear something, and now we're not hearing anything. And I'm really wondering, is there going to be some new announcements? Of course there is somewhere, you know, if not at the Xbox showcase, at the Summer Games Fest, like something, you know, something big is going to happen. And I want to speculate here. What do we think is going to be at these showcases? Holly, I want to start with you. What's on your mind? What would you like to see at these showcases? Games. Okay. I'm not talking about the celebrities and all the guy crushes and stuff you might have you want to see on stage. No, I'm just kidding.
I met Sven last year and talked his ear off for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I met Sven too. It was amazing to meet Sven. That's what's cool about Summer Games Fest, that you see all these developers and these studios heads just walking around, and you can go up to them and talk to them, and they're pretty cool. Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, it is. It was
way
cool.
Tall.
Just across the shows in general, just wishes and desires doesn't mean I think they're going to be there. BioShock is my favorite game of all time, so I know that there's been this like sort of semi-announcement that at some point this summer we're going to see something for BioShock 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's at this show or they're just going to put something on YouTube one day or something like that, but I'd love to see that. And in that vein, where in the living nightmare is Judas? Because that game has been in development for a decade. It was supposed to come out this spring, and spring just kind of went by and we saw nothing, heard nothing, right? So it's got to be somewhere soon.
Clockwork is also another kind of BioShock.
And Clockwork is my like my most anticipated game, right? Yeah, out of the Xbox games. So that one I think is coming. Well, so my biggest like question of like what if or what's going to happen is that Xbox had this huge year in the first 6 months, right? And we don't really know a lot of what's coming in the last half of the year except for Outer Worlds 2. And then if you count Call of Duty, but I don't really count Call of Duty as like, something in their traditional like singular experience kind of game, right? So they kind of have a gap because they moved Fable into 26. And now that we know GTA isn't in the fall, what are they going to bring out for holiday time? Yeah, that was.
I told everybody. I remember when they first announced 2025. I said it's not coming 2025. People hated me for it. Like I know Rockstar.
It's not coming in May next year either.
Actually, I do think it's coming in May. That's where I differ. I actually do think it is.
Do you?
I think it will. Yeah. I think they'll hit it.
It's bold to give a solid date, like an exact date a year out. So
yes, and it's because of that reason I think it'll hit.
Yeah, well, maybe. So what are they going to fill the fall with? And then you kind of think through the list of games that we're talking about, right? Like there's Gears E-Day. It's not Fable. They said Fable's 26, right? So it's not going to be that.
But we got to see Fable. We have to see gameplay, I think.
We see so much of Fable.
No. We didn't see gameplay though. We saw little snippets of gameplay, but I want to see like just gameplay. Like I'm good on seeing this. Like this,
I think we'll see a little bit of it, but I wouldn't be surprised because Xbox has been doing a direct or whatever they call it. Yeah, developer direct, right? They've been doing them in September, I think, as well now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a 20-minute direct in September or October about Fable, right? Because that'll be like the next big thing. But I don't know what that fall game's going to be. I could be Clockwork. I don't think it's going to be, but it could be because we knew it was announced 2 years ago. I think Outer Worlds 2 is going to be released around the same time as Starfield was, so like late August, early September.
That'll be fun.
So I think it's still going to leave a gap for holiday time. That's my thought. But besides those, I'm a little suspicious that we might see something about Splinter Cell because Ubisoft isn't doing their forward this year like they usually do. So they might do something in partnership either with Xbox or Summer Games Fest. And they just put that picture up of Sam Fisher, right?
I didn't watch it, but I saw a video, I think it was by Boomstick, and he was talking about the possibility of maybe them having a remaster of Splinter Cell or a remake, sorry, at the show.
Yeah, I think that's what it's. Yeah,
that'd be pretty interesting. I mean, lots of people want Splinter Cell.
They do. A lot of people want that. I agree. And then I think we'll see Arc Raiders. I think we'll see a release date for Arc Raiders. That game is pretty popular.
I heard that they might do some sort of launch during the Summer Games Fest.
That would be great.
That's what I've heard. I want to try it.
It's fun.
Did you play it?
I liked it a lot. I did.
You play? How?
They had a tech test.
I tried to get in, and they just never let me in.
I didn't get in either, but thank you to Bobby Hawk because he got in, and then after you play a little while, they give you codes for 2 people. And he sent me one of the codes.
Well, you know what, Bobby?
But I only got in.
Bobby Hawk, F you, Bobby Hawk. I know you're listening. I didn't get a code.
But I only got to play a couple hours, but I was having so much fun, and I thought about it for a couple days afterwards. You know, when it you think about it, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, I told Colt, I was like, hey, we should try to get in and play that. You know, it looks kind of fun.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Bobby Hawk. There he is. There's the guy. You dirty rat.
But I want to see Cuff Bust again and Killer Bean.
Cuff Bust.
Like I don't know where they are, and I want them. Yeah, but I just want a release date. That's why I want to play those games. And then shoot, there's one that and my most I'm really, really excited and impatient at this point to see what Double Fine's doing.
Oh,
That's my
me
other.
too. I love Psychonauts. So
They have 2 games in production, so surely one of them is very near because Psychonauts, I think, was 2020. So we should be seeing something soon from them.
yeah, for sure.
We'll see State of Decay. I'm not a
I
big State of
want to
Decay
see
person,
something.
but
I want to see State of Decay 3, but I don't know. I was telling Colt this the other day. I don't know that I'm all that excited anymore just because of all the things that Undead Labs have gone through. I mean, certain key people have left, and there was a lot of in-house turmoil going on during the development, and I'm keeping my
you're worried about it.
expectations at bay. I'm just not really going to go all in and say, "Oh, I can't wait for this game," because State of Decay 2 I thought was going to be really good, and it was just kind of meh, mid. It was just there.
I just couldn't get into it, but I
I
played it
liked the
alone.
first one. I played the heck out of the first one.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah.
that's my big list.
Yeah, no, that's a great list. Hargeet, for you, man, what are you hoping to see? What do you think's going to be there? Do you know anything? Have you heard any rumors? Like, let us know.
I mean, I've heard any rumors. No, I think I'm pretty confident that Forza Horizon's gonna be there. I mean,
Mm.
it could still not be, but I'm pretty confident that's gonna be there. So, so not 100%, but I think that's gonna be there. I think they're gonna
Nice.
have Forza Horizon 6. I think that's gonna be there. Um, Look, I think Double Fine is due. I'd love to see what they have cooking. They had two things, right? So let's see what's going on there. Um, the one that I want is I want that E-Day moment, and to me that would be from Halo. So I want to
Mm.
see Halo, whatever next Halo. So that would be like the killer end of the showcase for me. They have plenty of other things that are cooking, right? So we could see any of the things that we already know about, and I'm sure there are surprises we don't know about. But yeah, there's the potential to see Elder Scrolls 6. Are they due to show that? Maybe they are. Is it ready to show Blade or something like that? We'll see. I don't know
Yeah,
if they're
no,
ready to show
Blade.
that.
Yeah, that's interesting. See
Um,
something.
so there's plenty of the other ones that we already know about, right? Like State of Decay and all that, and Everwild and Perfect Dark and all that stuff is ready to roll at some point, right? Clockwork Revolution and all that. But I guess the big question is E-Day coming out this year? There seems to be rumors that that's the case. If that's happening, that's crazy, but okay.
Huge.
That would be huge. Um, so we'll see if that happens. Uh, but yeah, to me the big one that really I'm looking forward to is just the Halo game. There are third-party things that we've heard about before. We've already seen Contraband be announced. We haven't seen anything new on that game yet. Maybe that shows up, but there are other ones that were rumored to be out there. Maybe some of those many rumored third-party games will come up. There was also like the 100 Heroes studio that was the ex Rocksteady people. Maybe they have something to show. But maybe it's too early, right? That was only a couple of years ago, a year ago, something like that. It wasn't too far back when they formed that studio. Xbox funded their first game, right? So we will see what it is at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen now or if it's going to be later. Wouldn't mind a teaser. It would be awesome. But like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see. Um, there's Elsewhere, which I doubt they're going to have anything. It just kind of started as a new studio under Activision. The ABK teams, like the Activision teams, the ones that do COD, were supposedly working on other games. I don't know if all that's been canceled or if they're still going to be coming out. And if they are, I'd like to see those as well. Toys for Bob, they were supposedly working on something with they're
Spyro,
now on their own,
right?
but they were working on an Xbox IP, right? So supposedly Spyro, but we'll see. Maybe that's something they show up with at the showcase. Iron Galaxy, supposedly taking over for Killer Instinct. Let's see what they do there, right? There could be something going on with KI. Um, but yeah, there's plenty of things right in the Xbox arena. Now let's go beyond Xbox. Splinter Cell. There's been hints.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's see if there's something coming up. like, I don't think Ubisoft has their own thing. So if they don't, maybe Keighley stage, maybe Xbox's stage. We see Splinter Cell. That would be very cool. I'm still waiting on the Take-Two arena of games, right? So they have Borderlands 4 coming out, but they also have Mafia. They also have Judas. They also have a Bioshock. Again, it goes on and on, right? So GTA we already know about, but put that aside. These other ones are also pretty big. So I'd love to see what's going on there. Get updates on all those games. Um, there's Persona 6, which is kind of due as well. So is that going to show up on one of these stages? Maybe. I don't know. There's that rumored Sega console thing. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
Two
what is this
consoles.
about?
Yeah. So I don't know if this is probably bunk, but there were two special edition consoles that will be hitting retail shelves of Sonic and Shadow, and it's like in the actual console, not like it's like the Halo edition console, not like a wrap. So an actual console, and then comes the rumored, are they buying Sega? So that would be a fantastic, awesome, freaking announcement if that would happen. But I don't think
I
that's
doubt it.
likely.
Yeah.
But but either way, like Persona, right, 6, I think is kind of due, so we'll see if that comes up at one of these stages. Um,
I heard they're talking about it's just gonna be like was it 4 remake instead or something like that?
yeah, I thought they already kind of did that, right? But they did
Persona
I don't remember
3,
the
they
number 'cause
did
I'm not a
Persona
Persona
3, I
person, but
believe.
they did do that, right? But yeah, so maybe Persona
Maybe.
4 is getting remade, but yeah.
Um,
Um, but yeah, and then there's gonna be something I'm sure with the Yakuza series at some point. So I don't know if they're gonna showcase something with
that
that.
series never ends, does it? It's just like
Correct.
always
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Yakuza. Because it's
so
big for them, I guess.
and remember there was a bunch of Sega like bringing their old IP forward, right? So they're reimagining or something like that, right? Rebooting some of their older IP. So any of those could show up, right? And some of them look pretty cool. So maybe that could be a surprise thing on anybody's stage. It could be on Keeley's stage. It could be on Xbox's stage.
Cool.
But
Yakuza like a Disney. What?
uh, yeah, I mean, speaking of Disney, I suppose there's all the Marvel stuff, right? I don't know what's happening with is it 1943? Was that the game?
Oh, you're talking about
uh,
the
The Amy
Captain
Hennig,
America.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Amy Hennig
yep.
version, right?
Marvel.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what the status is on that. Maybe that shows up, right? No, we got Black Panther. Unfortunately, got canceled. But maybe there's other stuff going on there. We could see that. Uh, I don't know if Xbox is going to reboot some of their things, right? They had these like Hasbro and Marvel licenses as well with Activision, right? Could they be bringing some of that stuff forward? So maybe there's some surprise announcements there. I'm also looking at potential for something in Japan, right? That they might be partnering up just like they did with Ninja Gaiden. Could they have other announcements there that we don't know about that could be coming forward? Maybe a Blue Dragon or a Lost Odyssey or something equivalent to that, right? Yeah, that they had greenlit and now it's ready to show. So yeah, there's plenty of things that are available. I don't know if there's more from Software. Maybe they have something cooking there as well. They might be
I
bringing
think they
something over
do.
there.
I think they're cooking
So
something, but I don't think we'll see anything from FromSoft until at least maybe the Keeleys in December or
you think
next
so?
year.
Yeah, it's gonna wait.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, you didn't mention Everwilds.
I did. Everwild is
Did
there.
you?
They're
Oh, I
yeah.
missed you. Okay.
So Everwild, Perfect Dark, all those we already know about those games. Those should all be coming in. Everwild,
You,
it finally has a game loop, right? So it's they also mentioned it, right? They tweeted something, I believe. Looking forward to doing something with Everwild. So I think that'll be there. I'm pretty sure they're going to show us what the heck that's about. I don't think it's coming out this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after, but at least they'll tell us something about the gameplay loop. I hope that's what happens. Um, but yeah, there's just so many games that we could just keep
I think
going
we
on and on
should
and on about
see
from their side.
like
But I want to see other parties as well, right? There's a whole bunch of other publishers. What's happening with EA. They have plenty of stuff to show as well. So we'll see what they have to do, right? So there's a
They
Battlefront,
have a
I believe. So
Battlefield, yeah, they usually have a show
Battlefield,
in
sorry,
July,
Battlefield.
I think, right? Don't they usually have a show in July? EA? I think they do.
They could. I mean, they used to have one before Xbox, right? I don't know what the heck they're doing these
Mm.
days. Maybe yeah, they just wait a little bit and show their own thing. But yeah, there's a new Battlefield with Vincent Pella kind of leading it a bit, right? So we'll see how that turns out. Maybe it'll be good, right? So we'll see how
And
they
what
do with
about
that.
Resident Evil 9?
Again, yeah, it's always possible, and where that shows up, I don't know, but like it's
Well, it's
always a
usually a
possibility. Also,
Sony it's usually got Sony marketing, so if
it
anything,
could
it
be
would probably
Keeley,
be at
right? It could
Jeff's.
be Keeley.
Yeah, yeah.
So and yeah, they also just could be doing another remake. Did they finish 4, I believe, right? So maybe they have a
They're
5
working
ready
on
to go or 6
5 is
ready
the
to go.
rumor. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that could be showing up. Plenty of options there, right? So but we'll see. And
Definitely.
CDPR, maybe they have some good stuff to show. Witcher 4, they showed that before. Maybe they got some update on that. Maybe they have some updates on other games, right? There's a Cyberpunk 2, right? Maybe that's ready to roll as far as a teaser. Again, so many options. But yeah, what I'm looking forward to most is if they show me Halo, I'll be very happy.
So your big ender would be like Halo, something with Halo at the very end of the show. That would be your big
Yeah.
moment. Okay. Well, how about
Especially if they do it as well as they did E-Day, right? That trailer was fantastic.
oh,
Very well done.
look, first of all, I'm just going to say they're not going to top last year's show. Last year's show was incredible. Like there was game after game after game after game, and it was just beautiful. So I don't think they're going to top last year's. But I wanted to ask you, Holly, what would be your favorite like game ender, like end the show with this game, and what would it be?
Xbox specific, I mean, for me, it would be either Gears with a fall release date, or it would be Clockwork, because I really like Clock and I don't think Clockwork is on the level of massive appeal the same way, like a Halo Gears would be. But for me, that would be great because I'm really excited about that game. Or a new Fallout, which of course
Oh,
we know is
gosh,
not.
it would be amazing if they lent the Fallout to Obsidian and had Obsidian create Fallout 5 while they're working on Elder Scrolls 6. And then they
I've
showed
said
that.
forever, they need to have said this all the time, they need to have a studio baby where they take a little bit of Bethesda, a little bit of Obsidian, and a little bit of In Exile, because they all worked on Fallout at some point in time, and put a small team together from all of them and just let them make a Fallout together while they all still worked on, their regular
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't know.
Well,
That would
Obsidian
be
Be
so
is
happy
the
with that, right?
the Obsidian is the team that would create, I think, a better story, and the options and stuff would be there, like they did with New Vegas. I totally
But
would
In
love to see
Exile,
them.
don't count In Exile out though, because like they did Wasteland, which was fantastic. Wasteland 3 is a phenomenal game. It's so good. And that's
But
where
have
the
they made
top-down
a
stuff.
game like Fallout? Like
No, they're making Clockwork.
They made it, right? They created
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yes, they did.
yeah. I'm
And
talking about
their
the third
humor.
person in which we know it today, though. Like
So they're making
No.
Clockwork, which is
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And their humor in Wasteland 3 is
really
it's top tier. It's absolutely top tier. It's really, really good, and it feels like Fallout humor.
nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
A lot of rumors out there. Like there's a few people in the community that think they might be showing Elder Scrolls 6 at the end. of the
Colt
show.
says, yeah. Colt says that.
And that could very well be, and that would be. I guess that would be cool, depending on what they show. Like
Would
they'd
be.
have to.
It'd be huge.
But I don't see this game coming out till at least 2027. I don't see it.
Yeah.
For me, I honestly think that they should show some of the games that they've been talking about since their reveals in like 2020, 2021. You've got Perfect Dark out there, which we've seen some gameplay for it, but it was not like at its best, I'm sure. I think they should show what's going on with that game at some point in this show, and like have a cool kind of cinematic trailer for it with Joanna Dark and everything, because we've seen her now, and maybe like a little bit of a cutscene and then go into gameplay and make it look really cool and hype people up for it, you know, because this is something we haven't seen or heard in a while. Like we haven't heard from them. And then of course with Fable, I know we've seen a lot of cinematics, but just do a gameplay thing with Fable. Just show like some fun gameplay. And you know, you can throw in some of the humor that was there present in the original games, throw it in there just for good measure to get people excited for the game. I still think they need to show some of these games. State of Decay 3, we've talked about that. I think that needs to be shown. We need gameplay for that. No more women screaming in the dark. Contraband, we need to see something from that. That's true. Although I've heard rumors about that game, and if it's anything like what I've heard from some people, I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want to play that game at all. If it's true, what I've heard, people are going to hate it. I just don't care for it. But anyways, hopefully it's not true. Hopefully they show it and it looks good. But yeah, I just want to see them kind of just reinforce that, hey, these games are coming, guys, and get excited for them. They'll be out by next year, and you know, put some release dates on these games so we know for sure. I think that has to be done. Honestly, outside of that, I want to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see something new, absolutely new. Just like I just want to see like something that I would not have guessed.
Those are always the best announcements because you are really just surprised, right? Like you don't have any preconceived notions about what's coming. Yep.
Yeah. I love those moments where you're just sitting there and then you just get blindsided by this trailer. E-Day was one of those moments for me, matter of fact. And we were all just like, oh my God, in that theater, we were just all like just yelling out what we thought it was at the beginning. And then we're like, no, it's Gears. We just got so excited. Things like that, just it makes a show. We need something like that. But as far as like the rumors about Splinter Cell being remade, that sounds cool. I would like to see what that would look like, and you know, especially feel like today, because of course they would update all the mechanics and stuff and make it feel, you know, not dated, modern. And not for a modern audience. We're not going there. We're talking about modern, the gameplay, not a modern audience. We're talking about the gameplay. Yeah, I just want to see some new stuff, man. And as well as seeing all this stuff that we've seen for years, like make it real, put a date on it, put it out there and say it's coming and show it in its best light and say, here's a badass trailer for Perfect Dark. Here's a badass trailer for Fable. This is why you guys can't wait till March 13th or, you know, whatever the date may be, but come out with it like that. I want to see a good show. That's all. Yeah, X Music. I know we saw gameplay, but I want to see a cool stylized trailer, like with Joanna Dark and some dialogue and some, maybe a cool little cutscene and then into gameplay and then show it looking better than it did.
And it was this very small vertical slice that
it
we
was
saw.
Very small. Very small. Shout out to Web Dave with $1.99. He says, can't wait to meet the legendary Fonz and Hargeet. Yes, sir. I can't wait to meet you either, Dave. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of good people there. You are going to you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's a lot of fun. We all hang out. We hang out till the wee hours of the morning sometimes. It's really great. It's great fun. Yeah, I wish Holly was going to. It was a lot of fun last year. I think me and Holly hit it off right away. It was so cool. It was like, we had such a blast. We were just making fun and like, oh man, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, I can't wait. But anyways, that's what we think about the showcases this year. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments what you guys think, like what's going to be there. What do you want there and all that stuff? Let me know. Let us know, because it's interesting to read what some people would say. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm most excited to go to just hang out with good people again. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we'll get to see the great Jeff Keighley. the amazing Jeff Keighley. He'll be out there rubbing elbows, or maybe not, on his cell phone, looking down at it while people talk to him, as usual. That's just what I saw. I'm just reporting what I saw. I saw people talk to him, and he looks at his cell phone, and he's just like kind of answering while he's scrolling. That's what I saw.
Unless you're Kojima.
Unless, yeah, then he'll bow at the altar of Kojima for sure. But yeah.
Which, speaking of, Kojima's going to LA to be there for the Death Stranding
That's right.
portion at Games Fest. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little something from him for OD as well.
Yeah, what's up with that Death Stranding 2 Sunday night thing for Kojima? It's like a premiere, and they're going to be, I guess, just interviewing Kojima, Jeff Keighley. That's what it looks like.
I guess it seems just like a like a puff event, right?
Yeah, Korkenstein asked it, if we were going, in a group chat, and I was like, I'll be driving home by then, and honestly, like, I wouldn't go to that event at all, even if you paid me, because I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to hear Jeff Keighley just grovel at the feet of Kojima the whole time, and it's just, oh, you're so good at what you do, and blah blah blah, and oh, let's show this little bit of the game, and then, oh my God, you're so great, Kojima. Like, I don't want to hear all that. Not that Kojima's not a good developer. I'm just not the biggest fan.
He's a very cool guy. He's very
not the biggest fan
himself. BT Maverick, don't walk more than like 2 blocks from any hotel downtown. If you're in the area, stay in the area.
Okay,
don't walk to the Magic Box Theater, I think it was called, where the IGN thing was.
So apparently, it's only a few blocks away. We're lucky to be here. Where all the hotels are right there, and they're really nice hotels, don't get me wrong, but they're just blocks away from Skid Row. And if you've never heard of Skid Row, just type in Skid Row LA on YouTube and have fun, because it's a thing of nightmares. All right. And Holly walked us through some of these streets. Oh, I know where to go.
From Chicago.
And she's looking at her phone, and we're walking through these streets, and
bags of poop.
I literally stepped over a bag of poo. A bag of poo. And it was a clear bag. It was a clear bag. And it was gigantic.
Who stopped in the intersection and was like, are you guys okay? What are you doing here?
No,
you shouldn't be walking here.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Now, let me paint you a picture. This guy looked like he was out of like
he's a bike.
Like a bike. He looked like a biker. Okay. He had a big old beard. He looked really rough and mean, but he was driving a station wagon of all things, like an older station wagon. And he pulls up next to us, and he just, the only words I heard him say was, "You guys aren't from around here, are you?" And then he said, "You guys shouldn't be walking through here. People get stabbed and killed here all the time," or whatever. And I'm just like, well, Holly's leading us, and she's got the big colorful bow. They'll leave us alone. She's got this big old bow. Her and Colt's wife both wearing matching bows, and they're just like skipping down the street, skipping over the excrement.
Leading the way.
And me and Colt are losing our minds, looking at each other like, we're going to die. We're going to die today. And we got there. We were safe. But yeah, don't walk around there. It's not really all that safe. It's really not all that safe.
There is a strip club down the street, just a little bit. We walked past, though. If you're
into that sort of thing, if you want to catch an STD or something, just go down there. They'll help you out.
If you're really
Colt works the door.
Risking your life.
No, I'm just kidding. Colt does not work the door. Anyways,
that's a good time.
Yeah, it was a very good time. Anyways, that's it for the show today, guys. It's almost 2 hours here, and I'm tired of talking about bags of poo. But we're gonna have a great time next week. We won't be on next week here, but you will be able to catch us Sunday live, right, Hargy? There'll be a feed for the community watch party.
Yeah, so we will not broadcast the actual showcase part, but the other events we will. So there'll be some stuff going on there.
Yeah. So and whose channel is that going to be on, by the way?
It'll definitely be on mine and Ains at least. We'll try to
Okay.
do others as well, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's going to be a community like live viewing of you might see me, you'll definitely see Hargeet, I'm sure. But you might see some
There's
of
gonna
us
be
on
some
there,
special guests, right?
and there will be special guests. Yes. Some very special guests.
All of our fans are special guests.
There you go. That's a way to sell it, Hargeet.
There you go.
Great. Great.
So yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. We have some good events planned, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully people enjoy it, and then we'll do even better next time. So
No, I'm telling you, like, definitely, it's something that I think the community's got to keep up with. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think we could have greater and greater turnouts. Just, we just got to spread the message. This is what it's all about.
Yep.
Hanging with people that you've been talking to online, gaming with for years, and podcasting with also. I mean, is Kayasante coming this time? Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah.
yes, he is.
Be a lot of good people there.
Yep.
All right.
Boom
Until
will be
next.
there. Many others.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Hargeet? Before we get out of here, let everybody know where they can find you after this show. Before they find you next week on that live stream.
Yeah, so I'll be on with Web Dave tomorrow, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Web Dave's channel. Check that out. It'll essentially be similar to this, where we're going to talk about what's going, what we predict and whatnot, but we'll go over some of the news. And then I'll be on with Boom on Wednesday at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time, Double Barrel Gaming. And right after that, I'll be heading over to Best Buy to pick up my Switch 2, which is also coming out next week or this week, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
so the Switch 2 will be coming out, and I'll be picking that up right before I fly out to LA. So I'll have it with me. But yeah, so that's happening this week, and then yeah, check out some videos. Will probably pop up here and there. We'll have some streams for some of the stuff at FanFest. But yeah, we'll try to give you some impressions of what's going on throughout the weekend. But there's a lot of fun going on. There's a lot of things that jam-packed schedule of all the play day stuff and all that too. But yeah, we'll catch up with the community, and if you see us out in the JW, that's the place to be. JW Marriott. Check out the JWs. The little cafeteria area they have there where people can all
Oh yeah. They
congregate.
sell a strong $7 Diet Coke.
So yeah, it's expensive, but that's where everybody ends up being. So if you want to see us all, we'll probably be there. You can check us out, and we'll meet up with community people, and of course the rest of the content creator and media type people that'll be there as well. So
I will be taking all the sodas from IGN Live again.
Good thing I'm not there to help steal the small amount of
It's
diet.
not stealing. It's not stealing. They're there for the guests.
Yes,
For everybody.
to partake.
Yeah, I will partake. I'll be partaking and taking more than one, and take it with me to the JW, because I'm not spending $7 on a Diet Coke. Not going to do it. Anyways, that blue number, Holly, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Even though you're sick, you came and you did well today, and you were awesome as usual. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah. On Fridays, I'm in the Infinite Podcast with Brisket on his channel, and also on Twitter under my name. And then I have a YouTube channel, and I started making videos, and I do live stream throughout the week as well. Oblivion Sundays is a thing, so tomorrow I'll be streaming more Oblivion, and just whatever that ensues or whatever that entails, and still working on Doom. But thanks everybody. Thank you for having me on. I very much love spending time with you guys.
Awesome.
It's good to be here.
We love spending time with you as well. With that said, I want to thank everybody for watching today live, and everybody who listens or watches the feed on Spotify or whatever after the fact. I appreciate you guys. Again, last week it took another 18 hours to process the video. I don't understand why YouTube does this to me. Please, I don't know, YouTube. You're not listening anyway, but I wish you'd fix it. Because it's crazy. I can't get the podcast out until the next day, and it sucks. And this stream actually doesn't show up on anybody's feed unless they are subscribed to me and they have the notifications on. Outside of that, new people can't see these podcasts because they don't pop up right away until they're done days later. And then by that time, they're not going in any algorithm or whatever. YouTube is just like, nope, you're crap. And it sucks. Anyways, until next time, which will be in 2 weeks, people, because you know what? I might do some recording at the showcase and stuff. I might throw up a few videos and stuff. Hargeet, I've seen you do that, where you just record games and stuff like that. I might do some of that stuff because we do run into that games and stuff at these things. So IGN Live, they'll have their game things. And yeah, I need to do that. Why not? I mean, even if it's just random clips, I'm sure people will watch it. There's somebody out there that'll say, oh, yeah, it was a pretty cool clip. And then there's going to be like a million people going, this is shit. Just laugh at it and move on. Anyways, until next time, guys, game on.